To become a professional footballer isn't easy. One has to be disciplined, one has to be the best in years and years of training, and above all, the most important part, he has to do well on the pitch. This is a story of one unique footballer, a footballer who was one in a million. We haven't seen a player like him in football. Was he that good? Yes. He was so good at football that he became a footballer without having kicked a ball on the ground. He was so good that his career spread over 12 different years and 10 different clubs in Brazil, Argentina, and Mexico. This person was good at everything apart from football. He managed to convince others that he was a footballer. He pulled one of the biggest ever footballing cons the world had ever seen. Meet Carlos Kaiser, a Brazilian who, because of his physique, his trademark mullet, his charm, convinced every top club in Brazil he was a footballer and lived on the club's wages despite having zero intention to play for them. It started when a young Carlos Henrique Roposo impressed some scouts of Mexican club Puebla. They offered him a contract and signed immediately. Carlos Henrique Roposo changed his moniker to Carlos Kaiser because he had a similar resemblance with Franz Beckenbauer. Now Kaiser, having signed for the club, goes without playing and he fakes an injury to get out of the playing 11. Ultimately, Puebla terminates his contract after he signed for them. Maybe this was the start of the con for Carlos Kaiser. He would switch one club after another on a short-term contract basis and get paid, play zero football, and when called upon, fake injuries and escape. Carlos Kaiser was a charmer. His contact list was huge. He was friends with Brazilian players like Zico, Bebeto, and Romario and many others. He was a party animal and all the Brazilians loved him for that. He used to have dinners with top journalists and he used to gift heavily his medical staff. Now, having three main components on his side, he used the player's influence to get him his next contract. He asked journalists to write articles favoring him and he asked his medical team to fake an injury whenever he needed them to. Kaiser was not just a charmer, he knew how to handle the hype around him. He used to play supporters or pay actors to act as supporters and sing his name or praises when he was sitting on the bench. He knew how to create a fake persona, a persona where others would feel overwhelmed looking at him. He used a toy phone which resembled a original phone and used to talk in loud gibberish English so that his teammates would think he is rejecting a deal from England. And when his act would get caught up, he was quick to change the club. He knew the way to get into good books of people and how to influence them for his good. Once during his time at a club called Bangu, he was close friends with its owner Castor Andrade. Castor Andrade was a man everyone took seriously. He was a man not to be messed with, a person who held contact in the top hierarchy of FIFA. His friend was none other than Joao Havelange. So coming back to the story, Carlos Andrade signs Carlos Kaiser and during a cup final he wants him on the pitch and signals the manager via walkie-talkie to bring on their main guy, the king of Bangu, Carlos Kaiser. A nervous Carlos Kaiser starts the warm-up and his head is working on new ideas to stop him from entering the pitch. Suddenly, in a eureka moment, he hears a fan cuss at him. In an instant, he jumps at him and attacks him, and which leads the referee to give him a red card and he is thrown out of that match. After this, a pissed off Castor Andrade calls for Kaiser to have a showdown on his behavior. Kaiser comes up with a plan and justifies his act by saying, "I consider you as my father and I won't accept anyone calling my father a thief." After this interaction, Carlos Andrade has a change of heart. He extends the contract of Carlos Kaiser and thus Kaiser stays at Bangu. Carlos Kaiser showed the world you don't need to play football to be a pro footballer. There are many stories of Carlos Kaiser, but his life was full of lies and deceit. Carlos Kaiser may be bad at football, but he was prolific in the cons he used to pull. So this was my short video on Carlos Kaiser. Please leave in the comment section about how you like this video. Please like, share and subscribe this to my channel. It helps a lot. This is a new channel and I need all the love and support of you football fans. If you have any comments, please leave them in the comment section and please like this video. I'll see you in the next video. This is Subhash signing off.